Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to the IP retreat. Is it possible to organize our retreat like a picnic? I think so, because in a picnic we enjoy doing everything. You drive to the site of the picnic and you enjoy driving. Or you walk to the picnic place, you enjoy your walking. And if you want to camp, you fix your tent with joy, and you don't think of it as a labor, as a work. You enjoy fixing your tent. You enjoy everything. And if you are to cook something, you enjoy cooking. You do everything in that spirit. You enjoy everything you do in a picnic. I tell you a story. There is a teacher and his students who are so busy that they never had a chance to have a picnic. How come that they are so busy? That teacher and that student, they live in a temple, and yet they are so busy. And if you live in a temple and are so busy, it's not worth living in a temple. You can live outside, because people outside are very, very busy. So I don't know why that teacher and that student live in a temple and they got so busy. In Plum Village, we try not to be too busy. We have lazy days. And lazy days for us to practice just being lazy. We try very hard not to do anything, because many of us are used to be doing something, and that has become a habit. And people feel that they will die if they don't have anything to do. And they are always on the go. They are always running. They don't have a chance to stop. I think lazy days in Plum Village are not so easy to practice if you are not used to the practice of being lazy. You are not supposed to do anything on lazy days. There is no sitting meditation. There is no walking meditation. There is no bell, no schedule, no Dharma discussion, nothing. You are on your own. And yet there are many who like to do walking meditation by their own, in a lazy way. There are those who want to do some cooking in a lazy way. There are some who like to do sitting meditation in a lazy way. They are not forced to do anything. They just do it for their own pleasure. I want to go back to that couple, that student and teacher who had no time for a picnic. The student said, "Teacher, can you arrange for a picnic?" He said, "Yes, we've managed to find a day when we can go to a picnic." And yet they could not have one day in order to go to a picnic. And 1 year, and 2 years, and 3 years, and they had never had a chance to go to a picnic. And one day, they were walking together in a city, and there was a funeral procession. And the teacher asked the student, "What is that?" And the student said that this is they are having a picnic. The only picnic they have when they die. A bomb might explode today, and we have our picnic. I have lived through two wars in Vietnam, and I know what is the war. What is a war? You don't know whether you can You can be alive this afternoon or evening. There is a fear, there is anger, there is despair. And if you don't know how to manage, you cannot survive. You are just waiting for your picnic. You are not ready for your picnic. That is why our practice is to have the picnic right here and right now and don't have to wait. And that is why we want very much for you to organize your retreat, your IIP retreat here as a picnic and enjoy every moment of it. And I think that is possible because we have the experience of doing picnics. And the picnic can happen right now in this very moment. We are sitting here. Are we there to do something? We have nothing to do. We just enjoy our sitting with no worries. Because sitting is a pleasure. Sitting and listen to someone speaking is a pleasure. You don't need to learn anything. You don't need to pass an exam to get a diploma. You just sit there and enjoy breathing in and out and listen to someone speaking about peace. It is not our intention to give you ideas about peace. You have got plenty of ideas about peace. Our intention is to be peace right in the here and the now. To be peace in the here and the now, not to talk about peace. And this is possible because peace should be there in your body, in your feelings, in your perceptions, in your consciousness. You have your body. Your body might not in peace. And you learn how to bring peace to our body right here, right in the now. We know that our body suffers. There is a tension, there is a stress, there is a pressure, there is a pain within our body. We have worked our body too hard. Our body has been exposed to a lot of pressure. We don't feel good within our body. There is a conflict, there are many conflicts within our body. The way we handle our body has made our body suffer so much. There is no real peace in our body. So what to do in order to bring peace to our body? This is what we try to do. And we don't need a lot of time to do it. To allow your body to rest. To allow your body to have a chance to renew itself, to heal itself. That is something possible. We can do it today. And after 1 or 2 hours, we feel much better. We are not talking about peace to our body, we are bringing peace to it. And we have our feelings. We might feel sad. We might feel painful. We might feel excited. There are a lot of feelings going on in us, like a river of feelings. There are unpleasant feelings, painful feelings, There are exciting feelings and so on. And there is no peace in our feeling. And you have to learn how to bring peace to our feelings. And this can be done now. You don't need a lot of theory. And we can enjoy doing it, bringing peace to our feelings right here and right now. Our time together is very precious. We don't talk about peace. We try to make peace a reality right here, right now, within our body, within our feelings. And we have also our emotions. Like anger, like a fear, like a despair. And we don't know how to handle. And every time anger comes up, every time fear overwhelms us, every time despair overwhelms us, we suffer. We don't know what to do in order to be free from them. Being here in Plum Village, together with other friends who know how to handle our feelings and our emotions, we learn how to handle our emotions as well. And with 15 minutes of learning and practice, we begin to know how to handle our fear, how to handle our emotion, our despair, and how to handle our anger. This is very important. And if you cannot handle your fear, your anger, your despair, you cannot talk about peace. If you don't know how to handle your body and your feeling, you cannot talk about peace. Because to handle them well will bring peace, harmony into your body, into your feelings, into your emotions. And then we have our perceptions. Our perceptions are the ground for our action, and they bring forth our feelings, our emotions. We perceive things, but because we are not calm, we are not lucid, we are overwhelmed with our fear, our anger, our despair. That is why we do not perceive things as they are. We have wrong perceptions. We have wrong perceptions on who we are, on who they are, and what is the world. We have a wrong perception concerning ourselves, concerning them, and concerning our situation. And these wrong perceptions are the foundation for all action that will bring unhappiness, destruction, and fear and anger. And that is why we should be able to handle our perceptions, to see whether that perception is a wrong one or a right perception. Most of our suffering comes from our wrong perceptions. That is why we should have the time to consider, to look deeply into the nature of our perceptions in order not to be caught in them, by them. Because perceptions are the foundation of all feelings, emotions, afflictions, and so on. The fact is that in our daily life, we are very seldom free of these feelings and perceptions and mental formations. We are rarely ourselves. We are a victim of our feelings, of our perceptions, of our of our emotions. And we are like something, a leaf floating on the ocean. And the waves push us. We don't have our own sovereignty over the situation. We allow ourselves to be carried away, pulled away by our feelings, our perceptions, and our mental formations, our wrong perceptions. And that is why it's very important to come home to ourselves and master the situation and be the master of ourselves. We do not live our own life. We allow our life to be lived by the circumstances around us. And we have been victim of what is happening. We can rarely be ourselves and become master of our situation. Therefore, it's very important to go home to ourselves and take the situation in hand. We have to be master of our feelings, of our emotions, of our perceptions, and not to continue to be their victim. And this is the basic practice of peace. If you have some peace in our body, in our feelings, in our emotions, in our perceptions, and then we can help the other to have peace in his or her emotions, perceptions, and feelings also. But we have to begin with ourselves, and this is possible with a retreat, with the presence of people who know the practice and who support us in the practice so that we can be an instrument of peace. You cannot become an instrument of peace if you have no peace within yourself. To become an instrument of peace, you become an instrument of God, of Allah, of the ultimate reality, and you are acting in the name of God, in the name of Allah, the name of the ultimate reality, the name of the Buddha. And this is possible. This is not something too difficult. We can do it. Sometimes we feel we are very tired. We have no more energy. We want to give up. The situation is so difficult. We feel that we cannot do anything. We are only a victim. We want to seek for a place where we can be protected. We want to take refuge. We want to take refuge in God, in the Buddha, in Allah. It's like a wave on the ocean. Imagine a wave on the surface of the ocean. Very tired of going up and down and so on. I would like to seek refuge. And there is a refuge for the wave. And that is water. If the wave recognizes that she is water, and then she seeks refuge in the water, and she no longer is afraid of going up, going down. But it's very important that she knows that she is water. She doesn't have to seek water out of herself. You might like to seek refuge in God, in the Buddha, in Allah, in the ultimate reality. And this is something possible. I remember in the month of August this year, we had a retreat for policemen, policewomen, and other law enforcement people like prison guards and so on. The retreat took place in Green Lake, in the state of Wisconsin, North America. You know that police officers in that state of Wisconsin are called peace agents, peacekeepers. And police officers don't feel that they have peace within themselves. How could they keep peace? They offer peace. That is why they needed a retreat in order for them to have a chance to practice being peace, so that they can offer peace to the people on the street, in the families, and so on. On the third or fourth day, I practice doing calligraphy. Like I have arrived, I'm home, present moment, wonderful moment, and people like to have a calligraphy like that to hang in their house to remember the practice of being peace. And one person came to me and asked, "Hey, could you write for me the calligraphy resting in God?" Resting in God. And I did it. You are a wave. You are so tired of going up, going down. You are afraid of being born and being dying. You feel that you are a victim. You want to look for something solid, for something safe, something long-lasting. Imagine we are waves looking for water. The most interesting thing is that you don't have to look for water if you are waves, because you are water in the here and the now. God is not something existing outside of us. The ultimate, our refuge, is not something we have to find outside of us. It is right inside of us. Resting in God means I take refuge in the ultimate. That ultimate you can call Buddhahood, or God, or Allah. But you need it. You need the ultimate. You are tired. You feel tired as a wave, and you want to be water. And you hope that you can find water somewhere. But in fact, water is in you, is you. And resting in God, you don't have to run. You have to go home to yourself, like the wave. If the wave continues to run, she will never see and meet water. The only way for the wave to meet the water is to go home to herself. And when the wave realizes that she is water, she has peace. She practices resting in God, in the here and the now. Although she continues to go up and to go down, she is peaceful. And this is something we can practice. God as not as an objective entity, but God as the ground of your being. But you may like to ask the question, what is God? Who is God? Who is Allah? Who is the Buddha? And you say that I have to get a clear notion of God in order to really trust and go back to God. And because we need an explanation, a description, that is why theologians have spent so much ink and saliva to give us an idea of what God is, who God is, and so on. We are very often deceived by them, theologians, because we know that God is the absolute, the ultimate, and you cannot say anything or write anything about the ultimate. That is very frustrating. You want to have a notion of God, and you want to take refuge in God. But maybe you end up in taking refuge in a notion. And many of us are caught in that, taking refuge in a notion. You think that you are taking refuge in the Buddha, but you take refuge only in your notion of the Buddha. You think that you are taking refuge in Allah, but Allah is just a notion you have in your head. And that is why in Plum Village, we want to be realistic. We want you to take refuge in the present moment, in your in-breath, in your out-breath, in your steps. Much more concrete. Breathing in, you take refuge in your in-breath. You are entirely your in-breath. You trust your in-breath. And together with your in-breath, you become peace. And when you breathe out, you take refuge in your out-breath. You become your out-breath. You trust your out-breath. And you become peace with your out-breath. In Plum Village, when you walk like this, taking a step with your left foot, you take refuge in your step. And you can get in touch with the ultimate in your step. You just make a step. You take refuge entirely in the step. And the ultimate becomes available to you in that moment of making the step. But you have to know how to make a step. You have to really take refuge in the step. You have to bring 100% of your body, 100% of your spirit in order to take refuge in a step, Because in our daily life, we have the habit of running. We walk like we run. We are seeking for peace, for success, for love, for God. And we are always on the run. And our steps are the means for us to run away from the present moment. But according to the practice of Plum Village, life is available only in the present moment. God is available only in the present moment. Peace is available only in the present moment. And that is why making a step like this is stopping the running. It's an act of stopping running. And for those of us who are used to be always running, it is a revolution to make a step and to stop all the running. You don't run with your feet, you don't run with your mind. You fully take refuge in your step. You fully make peace with your step. You are not seeking peace, you are not seeking God outside of your step. You make a step, and if you know how to make it, peace and God become available in that moment of touching the earth with your feet. When I breathe in, this is slow walking. When I breathe in, I make a step. When I breathe out, I make another step. I invest entirely myself into making the step while breathing in. I don't run anymore. I know that if I take refuge entirely on the step, I encounter the ultimate. I encounter God. I encounter life. Because life is available only in the present moment. These are very simple things, but we do not have enough time to see. The past is already gone. The future is not yet there. There is only one moment when we can be truly alive. That is the present moment. And life is available only in the present moment. And your in-breath brings you home to the present moment. Your step brings you home to the present moment. And that is why it's so important to take refuge in your in-breath and in your step. Because they are the only means to bring you home to the present moment where you can touch life, where you can encounter life deeply. Suppose you are taking a plane to go to New York. And you think that you have to get into the plane and sit there for 6 hours in order to arrive. And sitting in the plane, you think only of New York. You are not able to live the moments that are offered to you now. But it is possible for you to walk into the plane in such a way that you enjoy New York at every step. You don't need to arrive in New York in order to be peaceful, to be happy. You walk into the plane, every step brings you happiness. You arrive in every moment. To arrive means to arrive somewhere. And when you practice walking meditation, you arrive in every moment. You arrive at the destination of life. Because the present moment is a destination. Breathing in, I make a step. And I tell myself, I have arrived. I have arrived. This is the practice of Plum Village. I have arrived. When you breathe in, you take refuge in your in-breath and you say, I have arrived. When you make a step, you take refuge in your step and you say, I have arrived. And this is not a statement. Not a statement to yourself, to another person, or to the press. I have arrived, it means I have stopped running, I have arrived in the present moment. Because only the present moment contains life. The past is no longer there, the future is not yet there. Only the present moment has life in it. So when I breathe in and take refuge in my in-breath, I touch life deeply. When I take a step and I take refuge entirely in my step, I touch life deeply. And by doing that, I stop running. Stopping running is a very important practice. Because we have been running all our life. We believe that peace, happiness, success are there. We don't know that everything should be looked for in the here and the now. Peace, happiness, stability. I have arrived means I have arrived in the here and the now. The address of life. Here, now. Here now. HereNow.com. Life is available only in the here and the now. God is available only in the here and the now. And that is why it's very important to go home to the here and the now. And you have wonderful means to go home to the here and the now. And that is why we have to learn how to take refuge in our in-breath. Because with one in-breath, you can arrive in the here and the now. And stop all the running. And with a step, you arrive in the here and the now and touch God, touch the ultimate, touch peace in yourself, restore peace in yourself. There's a seed of peace and joy within yourself. And if you know how to take refuge in your in-breath, in your step, you can touch the seed of peace and joy in yourself and make them manifest for your enjoyment. So instead of taking refuge in a notion, in a vague notion, abstract notion, God, Buddha, Allah, we want to take refuge in the reality of the ultimate. And God can be touched in your in-breath, can be touched in your step. And many of us have succeeded in doing so. We enjoy living deeply every moment of our daily life by the practice of touching the ultimate, touching joy and peace in the here and the now. It sounds easy. Everyone can do it, but it takes some training. Because if you are used to run all your life, it has become a habit of running to seek for something. So the practice of stopping is a very crucial. stopping. And you stop by what? You stop by means of your in-breath, by means of your out-breath. You stop by means of your making steps. And that is why the basic practice in Plum Village is the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking. And if you master this practice, and then you can practice mindful eating, mindful drinking, mindful cooking, mindful driving. And you are always with God. You are always with the ultimate. You are always with life. You are always with peace and happiness. Don't do like that teacher and his students. Always running until they see a funeral and realize that this is the ultimate, that is final picnic. Should not do like them. We have to enjoy our picnic right here and right now, and you have the instruments of enjoying your picnic right here and right now, to enjoy your in-breath, to enjoy your steps. And if you think that it's very difficult to make an in-breath, you are wrong. It's very difficult to make a step in mindfulness, you are wrong, because they are highly enjoyable. Because you can touch peace just by breathing in. You can get in touch with peace while you make a step. You touch the seed of peace inside of us. And you remove the tension in your body, in your feelings. You remove the conflict within your feelings, your perceptions, by breathing like that, by sitting like that, by walking like that, by eating like that. The practice is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness of walking, mindfulness of eating, mindfulness of dishwashing, mindfulness of cooking, always dwelling in the here and the now, and not allow yourself to be pulled away by the future, by your worries about the future, your projects about the future, and your regrets about the past. We have to recover, to reclaim our freedom, because we have lost our freedom. We are caught by our past. We are caught by our worries concerning the future. We don't have the capacity to be here and be now in order to touch life. And that is why it's very important to learn the art of being peace in the here and the now. And with the presence of a community of practice, this becomes very easy. On your left, there is a friend who knows how to breathe in and out and touch the present moment. In your right, there is another friend who knows how to make a step and dwell peacefully and happily in the present moment. Behind you, there is a sister who can do like that. In front of you, there is a brother who can do like that. You are surrounded by people who know the art of living in the present moment, stopping the running, and touching the seed of peace and joy that are in every one of us, and become an instrument for peace, of peace for people around us. I have arrived. This is a practice and not a statement, not a declaration. I have arrived. I have arrived in the here and the now. And I am in a situation where I can touch life deeply with all the wonders. The rain is a wonder. The sunshine is a wonder. The trees are a wonder. The face of children are wonders. And there are so many wonders of life around us. There are so many wonders of life inside of us. Your eyes is a wonder. You need to open them, and then you can see all kinds of colors and forms. Your heart is a wonder. If your heart stops functioning, and then nothing can continue. And that is why when you go home to the present moment, you touch the wonders of life that are inside of us and around us, and you just enjoy. You don't have to wait for tomorrow in order to have peace and joy. I have arrived. This is a practice. And when you breathe in, you say that I have arrived. And whether you have arrived or not, you know. Whether you are still running, you know. Even if you are sitting quietly like this, but you are still running in your mind. So I have arrived. It's not a statement. You know whether you have arrived or not. And if you feel you are arrived, you must be very happy. You must tell your friend, dear friend, I have really arrived. You tell Thầy, I have really arrived. This is good news. And when you make a step, I have arrived. It's wonderful to be arriving at every moment. That is why while you walk, you don't talk. If you are busy talking, and then how can you arrive? And that is why in Plum Village, we have the habit of not talking when we walk, because we enjoy every step we make. And if you need to say something, and then you stop altogether and you say it, and you invest 100% of yourself in saying that, one thing at a time. And after you have finished, or after you have finished listening to that person, you resume walking and to enjoy every step. And if you know how to walk like that, you are always in the kingdom of God. You are always in the presence of Allah. You are always in the pure land of the Buddha. Like the wave, she is always in the kingdom of water. It's wonderful. It's possible. I have arrived. I am home. When you breathe in, you say, I have arrived. When you breathe out, you say, I am home. Because my true home is here and now. Because only in the here and the now that you have your real refuge. The present moment is your true home. Because it has life in it. And in the present moment you can get in touch with your ancestors, with God, with your children and grandchildren. They are already available in the present moment. That is your true home. And if you feel that you are home, your practice is successful. You feel that you are home, you don't need to run anymore. If you still feel that you need to run, you have not arrived. You are not home yet. So if you really feel that you are comfortable in the here and the now, you are home. This is very good news. And it's not too difficult. If you really want it, and you can be home right here and right now. Your home is not only in the Middle East, your home is here. Your home is not only in Holland, in England, in America, your home is here. Here does not mean France or Plum Village. Here means more than that. Here means life. All the wonders of life are available in the here and the now. You are home to that kingdom of wonders, the kingdom of God, the pure land of Buddha. I have arrived. I'm home. It's wonderful. It brings you a lot of joy, a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. So I wish that all my friends here will enjoy walking meditation while they are here with us in the IP retreat, and that they can continue like that when they go home. Imagine the police officers. They practice arriving in the here and the now, breathing and smiling. This is the first time we saw policeman, woman practice walking leisurely like that. I have arrived, I'm home. And have real peace in them. Without peace, they have a lot of fear, they have a lot of anger, wrong perceptions. And they cannot serve people. They can kill people by mistakes, just by their fear, their lack of peace. That is why policemen, policewomen need a lot of peace within themselves. In the month of September, we had a retreat for members of the Congress in Washington, D.C. And it's wonderful to see congressmen and women practice, I have arrived, I'm home. Because they used to run all day. You know that they have to be re-elected every 2 years. So their life is just a continued struggle to get re-elected. I told them, ladies and gentlemen, you can practice, enjoy walking on Capitol Hill. Because they may not have been able to do that before the retreat. They only think of the work they do. And I suggest that they walk like that in Capitol Hill and enjoy every step they make. We have our own territory of peace. And they are inside. Our territory is made of 5 elements. Body, is part of our territory. We have to bring peace in it. We have to remove the conflicts. We have to remove the tension and the pain. We have our feelings, our emotions. It's a lot of storms, a lot of conflict, a lot of afflictions of pain in the realm of our emotions. And that is why we have to learn how to bring peace to the territory of our emotions, of our feelings. We have the territory of perceptions. When I look at the marker, I have a perception of the marker. Whether my perception correspond to the reality of the marker or not, that is a question. Because we live with our wrong perceptions. We believe that we are only the one who suffers. They are only making us suffer. They don't suffer at all. That is a kind of wrong perception. If you have the time to breathe in, breathe out, and have peace in yourself, you see that the other group of people, they also suffer greatly like we have. And they need to be helped and not to be punished. And that is why peace should not be possible without removing elements of wrong perceptions in us. Our leadership should be able to practice in order to be free from wrong perceptions. And when our perceptions are born from our anger, our fear, well, they cannot be called correct perceptions. Because our wrong perceptions give rise a lot of fear, of anger, of despair, which lead us to acts of violence, punishment, separation, and death. And that is why it's very important to practice so that we can bring peace to our perception, removing the wrong elements of our perception. We have the realm of mental formation. Like a fear, like anger, like discrimination, like a hope, like a joy, like mindfulness. There are about 51 mental formations. And you have to go home to them and look at them and handle them properly in order for peace to be able to be in our mental formations. And then there is the realm of consciousness. To be explored. We have to go home to our mind, to our consciousness. Because our consciousness is the ground of everything. From the ground of consciousness are born our body, our feelings, our perception, and our mental formations. Consciousness is not only the spirit, it is the body. Because not only our bodies contain our consciousness, but our consciousness contains our body. I have arrived, I am home. In the here, in the now. When you practice walking, you might begin by, I have arrived, I am home. I have arrived, I am home. I have arrived. You take refuge deeply in your step. I am home. And home is not an abstract idea. It's not an imagination. Home is your step. Home is your in-breath. They are part of the wonders of life. When you are able to take refuge in your step, you are in touch with all the wonders of life. Walking in the kingdom of God is something you can do right now. It's not a hope. There's not a day when I do not enjoy walking in the kingdom of God. Why should I deprive myself with that joy? Because it's very healing. It's very nourishing. And my friends who sit here, they They can do that also if they really want. If you only want a diploma, a high salary, well, it may take time. But if you want to be in the kingdom of God and to enjoy walking in the kingdom of God, you may have it now. If you are able to go home to the present moment, and you are offer means to go home to the present moment, your in-breath, which is always available, your steps, always available, and you practice, you enjoy arriving, you enjoy being home, and you know that your home is in the here and the now, in the here, in the now, in the here, in the now. It seems like the here is different from the now, but it's not. The here is the now. If you are really in the here, you are in the now at the same time. If you are in the now, you are in the here also. So here and now, they are not two things. So my left foot and my right foot are doing exactly the same thing, going the same place, here and now, in the here and the now. So these 4 lines are just a reminder, helping you to be established in the here and the now. And if you walk with a friend, 2 friends or 3 friends, and then your collective energy will be stronger, and you support each other in touching life in the here and the now. I have arrived. I'm home. I have nothing to do. I just enjoy walking in the kingdom of God. I take refuge in the ultimate, like the wave taking refuge in the water. This is possible right here, right now. I am solid. What does it mean to be solid? To be solid means not to be pulled away from the present moment. Because there is a tendency in you to go back to the past. You regret, or you feel guilty. There are energies that are trying to pull you back to the past, and you get lost in the past with your sorrow, with your regret, and so on. You are not solid because you are a victim of the past. Many of us are victims of the past. We are not capable of living the present moment because the past has become a ghost, a phantom that always pulls us back to itself. That those of us who only think of the past, who are not capable of enjoying life in the present moment, you are not free, you are not solid. And that those of us who are caught by our worries, our fear, our uncertainty about the future, you are always fearful about the future. What will happen to me tomorrow, after tomorrow? You are a victim of your uncertainty, of your worries about the future. What will become of me tomorrow, after tomorrow? And these kind of worries and fear do not allow you to be really established in the present moment in order to touch life. And you are not solid because you have been pulled away by the past, by the future, by your craving, by your hope, by your fear, by your projects. So you are not solid. But when you say, I have arrived, I'm home, you cannot get me. I'm in the here, I'm in the now, I am master of myself. And then you become solid. So I am solid is not auto-suggestion. It's not wishful thinking. Because if you are able to arrive and to feel at home, and then you become solid naturally. So this is a recognition that you are here and you are now, you are home. This is no longer a hope. This is not an auto-suggestion. This is a reality, and you become aware that you are more solid now. And if you spend 3 minutes walking and arrive and feel at home at every moment, solidity has become a reality. Solidity becomes a fact. And whether you are solid or not, you know. When you are solid, when you are fully established in the here and the now. The past cannot get you, the future cannot get you, you are free. And that is why I am solid, I am free. I am free from what? I am free from the past, for the future, for my worries, for my fear. And that is why solidity and freedom, they are not two things. When you are solid, you are free. When you are free, you are solid. It's like the here and the now. And solidity and freedom are the foundation of your peace and happiness. One cannot be peaceful, one cannot be happy without some amount of solidity and freedom. And every step like this helps you to cultivate more solidity and more freedom. Be yourself. Be free. Be established in the here and the now. Touch life deeply. Get the nourishment. Get the peace that you need so much. In the ultimate I dwell. The wave is resting in the water. You are resting in the ultimate. You are resting in Allah. You are resting in God. You are resting in your Buddhahood. And this is the recognition that you are touching the ultimate. You are touching the ultimate in the here and the now. It's not a problem of time. The ultimate is available in the here and the now. Water is available to the wave right now, right here. And the ultimate is of your foundation. And by walking, by breathing like that, you are always in touch with God. God not as a notion, not as an idea, but a reality. You can touch God by touching a flower. You can touch God by touching the sunshine. You can touch God by touching a fellow human being. And outside of these things, there is no God. If you remove all the waves, there is no water left. And that is why to touch the wonders of life in you and around you means to touch the ultimate. And we have made music to this line so that those of us who are new to the practice can memorize and enjoy their breathing and their walking. Let's sing together. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. We don't have to memorize all the 8 lines, although it's very easy to memorize. If you don't remember everything, that's okay. You just remember, I have arrived, I am home. That's good enough for our practice. And during sitting or walking, you just use, I have arrived and I'm home. That's good enough, largely sufficient. When you make yourself some tea, enjoy the present moment. You pick up your glass, mindfully smile to it. If you are full of ideas, of projects, of thinking, you cannot do that. Non-thinking is what make it possible for you to pick up. You don't think of anything. You just become aware that you are picking up a glass in order to make some tea. You put a tea bag in it, and you take refuge entirely in the act that you are putting a tea bag on it. Don't think of the past. Don't think of the future. Enjoying picking up your glass. Enjoying the tea bag put here. Smile to them. You are in touch with the wonders of life. Stay with it. Don't go astray. When you pick up your glass, just pick up your glass with 100% of your body and of your mind. This is what I learned from my teacher when I was a 16-year-old novice. He told me how to light a stick of incense. He said, my child, breathe in and take the piece of incense and look. There's the stick of incense. And then light it. And you put your left hand on your right hand, holding the stick of incense and light it. It means that you put 100% of your body into the act of lighting the incense stick. And then when you put it on the incense burner, you also do the same. You invest 100% of your body and of your mind into putting the stick of incense on the incense holder. And you are mindful. You are concentrated during the whole time of lighting and offering a stick of incense. So this is the same when you have an opportunity to have something. And then having something is a good practice. Bring your body and mind home to the here and the now and pick up the glass like this. Not allow any thinking to intervene. I'm picking up my glass. It's wonderful. You are in touch with the glass. Really in touch with the glass. You are taking refuge in the present moment. And then when you take a tea bag, whether it is herb tea, Lipton tea, you smile to it, and you put into it, and you press, and you have the water up to here. And during that time, you stay with the hot water, with the tea bag. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Can you do it? Don't tell me that you cannot do it. You can do a lot of things that are much, much more difficult. This is something everyone can do, provided that you really want to do it. And you do it with the energy of mindfulness and concentration. I'm not in a hurry to go there, so I enjoy every step. mindfulness. Mindfulness is a kind of energy. They belong to the realm of mental formation. It's a good mental formation, a very important one. When you breathe in, and if you know that you are breathing in, if you take refuge entirely in your in-breath, that's called mindfulness of breathing. Your in-breath becomes the only object of your mind. When you breathe in, you don't think of anything at all. You just be with you just are with your in-breath. 100%. That is called mindfulness of breathing. When you walk, and if you know that you are making a step, fully aware of every step, that's called mindfulness of walking. And when you drink your tea, and if you stay with your tea 100%, and not allow you to be pulled away by the past, by the future, by your thinking, you are practicing mindfulness of drinking, mindfulness of tea drinking. Mindfulness is the energy that helps you to know what is happening in the here and the now. It is the energy of mindfulness that helps you to recognize the present moment as your home, as your true home. It is the mindfulness that helps you to know that the wonders of life are there. The sunshine is there. Breathing in, I know the sunshine is there. Breathing out, I know the autumn leaves are falling. So mindfulness is the energy that helps us to be aware of what is there, what is happening there. Mindfulness of breathing, mindfulness of walking, mindfulness of drinking. And you drink your tea in such a way that peace and joy be possible during the whole time of drinking. Can you do it? Because in one day we have several occasions to make tea for ourselves. Whether you are in the upper hamlet or lower hamlet, hot water is there, and tea bags are there, and also cups are there. And you have many opportunities to make you a cup of tea and to enjoy your cup of tea. But during the time when you begin to prepare your tea, until the time you finish your tea, peace and joy should be possible. Don't seek peace and joy outside of the time of tea drinking. There is a factory of there is in France there is a kind of yogurt. I don't know whether it's Danone or something, but they advertise like this. Mangez-la tout doucement pour que ça dure longtemps. Eat it slowly so that it can last long. Because if you are in a hurry, a yogurt isn't. It takes no time to finish a yogurt. Just a few seconds and then you finish the yogurt. But if you know how to enjoy the yogurt, eat slowly. Every spoonful, and stay with your yogurt. Take time to enjoy your tea. Ask yourself whether you are capable of being peace, being joyful during the time of tea drinking. Challenge yourself. Today, you have chances to make yourself a cup of tea. Bring your mindfulness in in order to be entirely with your tea. From the moment when you begin to make the tea until you finish the tea, allow yourself to have enough time to enjoy your tea. And drink your tea in such a way that peace is possible, relaxation is possible. Ban the worries, ban the fear, ban the despair. Don't allow them to spoil your life. You have a chance, you have an opportunity to have a cup of tea. Why spoil it with your projects, your fear, your uncertainty? And if you succeed in having your cup of tea, that is a big victory for peace. For yourself, for us, for your country, for the world. Peace and joy in drinking your tea. When you are mindful, from there to here, I enjoy my in-breath and out-breath. I enjoy my steps. And when I arrive here, I enjoy writing. So you can enjoy every moment of your daily life. When you are mindful, you are concentrated. And when you are concentrated, you get deep into it. You sink deeply into what is there. When you contemplate a flower, if you have mindfulness and concentration, you get in touch very profoundly with the flower, which is a wonder of life. When you hold your tea and enjoy it, if you have enough mindfulness and concentration, you get in touch deeply with your tea and enjoy the peace, the joy, the freedom that is offered to you by the opportunity of tea drinking. Drink your tea in such a way that freedom be possible. Freedom from what? Freedom from your worries, your fear, your anxiety. Freedom is our practice. And if you have some freedom, some solidity brought to you by mindfulness and concentration, peace is possible, joy is possible during the time of drinking tea. The same thing you can do during your breakfast. You have 20 minutes, half an hour to enjoy your breakfast. Although your breakfast is not fancy, but the happiness brought to you by having the time to have breakfast can be very great. If you know how to sit there as a free person. And then the 20, 30 minutes for you to eat your breakfast is a time for you to enjoy peace. Why do you have to worry, to continue to worry and to be fearful while having your breakfast? You are given a time to eat your breakfast. In fact, you are allowed more than 30 minutes to have your breakfast. Plenty of time. Why do you have to hurry in eating your breakfast? Many of us do not eat our breakfast properly in the morning before we go to work, because we allow our mind to be carried away by our worries concerning what will happen in the day. We are not with the breakfast. We do not take refuge in our breakfast. So stay with your breakfast from the beginning to the end. When you stay with your tea, 5 minutes. When you stay with your breakfast, you have 30 minutes. So enjoy the whole time. And if you can be a free person, you sit with freedom at your table, and then the time for breakfast will be the time to live, to be happy, to be free. Don't seek peace outside of your breakfast. If you fail to have freedom and peace in your breakfast, you have peace and freedom in other times also. So don't fail in your breakfast. Don't fail in your tea. And when you have your lunch, enjoy every morsel of food. Get in touch with the food, which is a wonder of life. The piece of carrot, the piece of tomato, the piece of tofu, the piece of bread in your hand is a wonder of life. The cosmos has come together in order to offer you a piece of bread. Stay with the piece of bread. Take refuge in the piece of bread. And if you eat your piece of bread mindfully, concentrated, and deeply, you get in touch with Allah, you get in touch with Jesus, you get in touch with the Buddha. Why do you have to run in order to find the Buddha, to find God, to find Allah? It is in your bread. Take refuge in your bread and you get in touch with the ultimate. So having breakfast, having lunch is a deep practice of peace. Don't seek peace, don't seek ultimate outside of your lunch, outside of your breakfast. And when you have a chance to go in the morning, when you hear the bell for sitting, enjoy walking from your room to the meditation hall. Every step you make can bring joy and peace and God to you. God is not only in the meditation hall, God is in every step. So take refuge in every step. The meditation hall in Plum Village is very large. It is outside of meditation hall as well. And in the restroom, you might think that the restroom is not as holy as the meditation hall, but that's not true. In the spirit of Zen, the restroom is as holy as the meditation hall or the Buddha hall. That is why from time to time we arrange flowers. We have a pot of flower in the restroom to show that this is a practice, place to practice. Enjoy the water, which is a wonder of life, that is running through your fingers. That is God. That is happiness. Are you capable of enjoying the feeling of the water flowing through your fingers? If you are in the here and the now, if you are mindful and concentrated, the act of exposing your fingers to the running water is wonderful. It's very nourishing. It's very healing. Why don't you have to hurry? Enjoy every second, every minute of hand washing, face washing. Smile to yourself. Peace is available in the here and the now. Brush your teeth in such a way that peace and joy be possible. Challenge yourself. Whether you are brushing your teeth, ask yourself whether you are happy or not brushing your teeth. Give yourself enough time to enjoy toothbrushing. Freedom and peace should be obtained during the time you brush your teeth. And when you urinate, enjoy it, because it's highly enjoyable, the act of urinating. Imagine you are in an airplane and so many people occupied. You have to wait sometime half an hour or more in order for your turn to, and then when the restroom is free, you are so happy. You open the door and you go in and you close the door. Now it's your turn. Why don't you enjoy it? Why don't you try to hurry and to make it finish? You enjoy the time being in the restroom. And in Plum Village, we have areas. There are many trees. You can use them as your restroom. It's very pleasant, more pleasant in the restroom themselves. For me, it's highly enjoyable. When you defecate, it's the same. It's wonderful. You release, you feel light, you feel free. It's very pleasant. The French call the restroom cabinet d'aisance. Aisance, ease. So peace and joy should be possible in every moment. But it's our picnic together. And you should be able to enjoy every moment. You try. Please. We are doing that together. And when we work together as a group, we enjoy the collective energy of mindfulness and concentration. If you get lost in your thinking, if you get carried away by your projects, by the past, by the future, the solid walking of a brother on your right, the solid walking of a sister by your left will bring you home to the here and the now, and you resume your mindful walking. Because every step like that heals and nourishes. Don't think of this as hard practice. The practice should be joyful, should be pleasant. And if you suffer during walking or sitting or eating, you are not doing it right. It is a picnic. You should be able to enjoy every moment. And from time to time, you hear the bell. And the bell is the voice of God, of the Buddha, of Allah in ourselves, calling us to our true home, to the here and the now. Every time the telephone rings, that is also the voice of God calling us back to the present moment. And whether you are helping in the kitchen, in the vegetable garden, you enjoy every minute of cooking, of taking care of the garden. You are always in the kingdom of God. Don't get out. You have the passport to go in the kingdom of God. That is mindfulness and concentration. And keeping that passport with you, you stay in the kingdom and do not get out. By the way, many friends of us have not arrived from the Middle East, especially the Palestinian. A number of them will arrive this evening, and a number will arrive tomorrow evening, because they cannot go to Tel Aviv to take the plane. They have to go to Jordan in order to. We have tried our best in order to intervene with the French embassy and the foreign ministry of France, so that they can get the visas. But they still have to obtain the permission of Jordan to take off. And we have an intention to invite them to stay a few days more after the retreat, so that they can listen to these talks that they missed today and tomorrow. And our brothers and sisters will continue to help them to continue the practice a few more days after the retreat ends. I think this is good enough for this morning. Enjoy your being in Plum Village. Enjoy your retreat. Enjoy your picnic.